Annyeonghaseyo, my name is Katie and today I'm going to be reviewing High School King of Savvy. This is a 16-episode drama that came out in 2014. It stars So In-guk, Lee Ha-na, and Lee Soo-hyuk. Now, High School King of Savvy is primarily a Nuna romance, meaning the main couple consists of a young guy and an older woman. I don't watch a lot of Nuna romances. I started watching Flower Boy Ramen Shop, but I put that on hold. I wasn't feeling it. I'll come back to it later, but I think this is the first real Nuna romance drama that I've finished, so I kind of have some interesting thoughts on it. I'm going to be reviewing it today, spoiler free, so let's get started. High School King of Savvy is about a high school student, an 18-year-old, who has to go to work in place of his brother, and he takes his older brother's place as a director at a big company. Of course, complications arise because he's a high schooler and he shouldn't be at a company, he's still in school, but many shenanigans happen and he happens to fall for one of the women that works at the company. So that's where the whole Nuna romance comes in. Like I said, High School King of Savvy stars So In-guk. I have only seen him in The Master's Son as well as a few guest roles on various dramas, so this is the first drama I've seen where he is the male lead. As far as acting is concerned in this drama, he stole the show. His character is again a high schooler, so he's very childish. I absolutely loved his character. Besides the fact that So In-guk has a really nice face and he just looks really nice, his character was very energetic, very upbeat, but also kind of complicated. He had a lot of anger. If you need one reason to watch High School King of Savvy, it is So In-guk. Just watch it for him. So speaking of the characters, this show has some controversies surrounding it, and I will talk about those. First of all, one is the female lead. Female lead in this show, the woman that So In-guk's character falls for, is rather spineless and kind of dowdy, and she's not the brightest, and she is a pushover. So a lot of people actually get very annoyed with her character while watching this show. I've heard very mixed reviews just because her character drove people crazy, and then other people are like, oh, it doesn't really matter. I found that while her character was not the brightest and, you know, kind of odd, I did not dislike her. I tend to prefer stronger female leads or ones that at least have a solid personality, but this character didn't bother me too much, honestly. She had her good points, definitely, but she wasn't one of those characters that I found super annoying, because I have come across characters that just annoyed me with their weak personalities and all that. I did not mind her. So if you're gonna watch this show, just keep in mind that the female lead does not have a strong personality. Again, So In-guk kind of just steals the show with his awesomeness. If you can put the fact that she is very weak aside, I think you'll still enjoy this show. Lee Soo-hyuk was also in this show. He was the second male lead. I've only seen him in Scholar Who Walks the Night. He was the evil vampire Gui, and I actually really liked him in that. I still haven't finished the show though. So I was like, oh, he's in this, I need to watch it. And oh my gosh, his character, though he was the second male lead, I didn't necessarily want him to get the girl. I actually really liked his character because he had depth, he was complex, and sometimes I kind of wanted to strangle him, but he wasn't like one of those characters that I constantly wanted to strangle and I was just really, really annoyed with. I actually liked him a lot because I think he was, for the most part, a decent person, besides the fact that he has an awesome voice and face and everything. We got a shower scene with him. So I actually really, really liked him, and I've heard he's gonna be in at least one new drama this year, so I'm very much looking forward to that because I want to see him in more stuff. I thought his performance in this show was really, really good. Besides So In-guk, he was probably my favorite cast member just because he was a very interesting character. So I already talked about the first argument that people sometimes have, that the female lead is terrible. I also want to mention that I don't think it's exactly Lee Ha-na's fault. I think a lot of it is the scripting and the way her character is written. So the characters I actually really liked for the most part, and I thought that the cast as a whole had really nice chemistry because a lot of this show takes place in an office. It's not like Scent of a Woman where our female lead is targeted by all her co-workers, which was kind of ridiculous. In this, it's a much more friendly environment, and I really like the interactions between all the characters, side characters and main characters, main characters, main characters. It was just great. It was a very solid solid cast. As for the story, romance aside, I thought the story itself was entertaining. It was very funny to see Seung-guk's character try and live a double life as a high schooler and then as a director. It was very entertaining. There was a whole hockey story arc going on. I wouldn't say it was a show that was very heavy on the plot. There wasn't a bunch of complicated melodrama aspects. It was just very light and funny. This isn't a show to analyze necessarily. It's just a very light, fun watch. But again, it was very entertaining and fun, and I did like the whole premise, you know, high schooler has to pose as his older brother. It was crazy, but it was lots of fun. As for the romance, like I said, this is a Nuna romance. So our 18-year-old high schooler falls for a 28-year-old woman. So there's a 10-year age gap. And there's a lot of argument over this because some people really don't like Nuna romances and some do. And this is like my first Nuna romance that I've actually completed, but from what I've seen other ones, this actually is probably the one I'm most comfortable with as of now. Like I said, this show isn't necessarily something you analyze, so if you put the Nuna romance kind of in the back of your mind and just think of them as a normal couple, it's actually quite cute. And I think part of the reason I didn't totally mind the Nuna romance was because she fell for him thinking he was her age, and they both have kind of childish, silly personalities, so that kind of helped make it less awkward, though I'm not quite sure why he fell for her. She wasn't the brightest character, and it wasn't like they had a connected past, like she was pretty or anything. It just kind of happened. But the romance, I did not mind it. I actually thought it was really cute, putting the whole Nuna thing aside. And I'm not gonna say what happens, but I did think the whole ending to the drama was cute and funny, and I actually really liked it. I thought it was satisfying, but not too much, not too little. I liked the music in this drama as well. It wasn't especially memorable. It's not gonna be like Almost Paradise. It's not gonna be like that where I'm gonna remember all the songs and, you know, I can like sing them, but it was catchy and I did enjoy it, and I've downloaded a couple of the songs, so I did like the soundtrack. Not gonna leave a huge impression on me, but it fit the drama and I thought that it was well done. So overall, I really liked High School King of Savvy. I gave it 7.5 out of 10 stars, which is actually a pretty decent rating for me. Not the best drama I've ever seen, but good enough. So like I said, I had a couple problems with this, you know. The female lead wasn't super strong, but didn't totally bother me. In the Nuna romance, there were some points where it was like, for the most part, it was really enjoyable. It was really funny, and I just really enjoyed this. It was a fun show, and again, if you need any reason to watch it, just picture Seung-guk. I mean, look at him. I mean, this right here should convince you to watch High School King of Savvy. Anyway, that is it for today's drama review. You can check out my review for this on mydramalist.com. I will link it down below. You can friend me on there as well. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you've watched High School King of Savvy and what you thought of it. Give this video a big thumbs up. Be sure to watch Hannah's and my other videos, and we will be back soon. Annyeong. Bye.